There is a bit of self-awareness toxicity that exists in the world today. That toxicity comes from the fact that people often spend an enormous amount of time in self-awareness, but they never move beyond that. And so it becomes too self-focused. The Enneagram tool helps you to recognize that each one of the personality types in the system, there's room for you to reach into that. There's room for you to connect to and understand it more. Really allow that to give you the space to look around you. Instead of just looking internally, we can also look externally. Self-awareness is the first stage, and then self-management is the next stage. The self-management piece, when we can reflect on other people, other possibilities, we empathize with those others. And that empathy is truly the gateway into that social awareness and social management. I use Daniel Goleman's model of emotional intelligence. Empathy truly is that gateway. If I can recognize my personality type would behave a specific way, for example, under certain situations, someone challenges me in a session where I'm doing some training, and they're looking to make themselves stand out. And they may or may not be wrong, but they're looking for something out of that behavior. And so I can use the Enneagram to think to myself, what is this person trying to accomplish for themselves? What is it that they need out of this situation that I can help them to reflect on and get out of the situation without allowing them to run over my boundaries. So my boundaries are, let's have some control and decorum over the group that I'm training, or it may be that the information I have is very accurate and I can back it up with research, but allowing myself to reflect for a moment on a personality type and think, this person may feel as though they've done something recently and I'm speaking directly to them. I may not know anything about them. And so they're judging themselves based on what I'm saying, and that's uncomfortable for them. And so this may be why they're trying to challenge. It may also be that they just don't like rules. And it sounds like I'm setting up a rule. And so this is an uncomfortable space for them. And so that rule is actually the thing that they're trying to challenge. So that movement from being aware that this could potentially be a trigger for me, but moving instead to a space where I can reflect on who that person is and how they're experiencing the moment gives me a lot of knowledge to help move myself into a good space and also to help them through into a better space.
So in that sort of situation, I guess it just enables you to take a step back and stop making everything about you, which is what I would do. I'd be like, oh, they must not like me and blah, blah, blah. To just take a step back and go, hang on, there might be something else going on here. And then maybe ask a question. Do you do that? Do you actually ask the question to just get it out into the open?
Yeah, it really depends. And part of the reason why it depends is because some personality types would respond really well to me opening the floor and asking the question, and others might not take it so well and feel that's confrontational. I absolutely would ask questions. Sometimes the questions are really just to pull a little bit more information out. What's their knowledge? What's the reason that they disagree? And give them some space to be heard. And then how I approach the response to that is much more frequently driven by what I suspect may be happening within their Enneagram type. I look at the Enneagram as a bit of a lens. I use a lot of metaphors and visuals. So yes, it's a compass, but it's also a lens. And every single person we encounter is internally utilizing all of their own resources. They're not looking into my head to understand things from my perspective, and they're not necessarily looking into your head to see things from your perspective. They're gathering all of their resources, their upbringing, their culture, their experiences, their neurodiversities, their education, bringing all of those together, those lenses together. And this is how they're introducing themselves to a conversation, to the world, to the situation. I love it because it is a constant reminder to me that I am only seeing from one perspective. Try and look at it from all of the other possible perspectives. that could be coming up. What else can be true besides what I think and know in the situation?